Maybe like that prey, you kind of feel that way, that your life is being tossed to and fro and turned around over and over and over and over again, where you just want to give up all hope whatsoever. You have to understand that even though He may do this, God still sits on the throne. And he just wants you to strategically to understand how the devil is at work trying to confuse you. And so let me give you some characteristics, 5 characteristic traits of this Leviathan to help you. The first is this, is that this demon has several heads. It has many heads. In fact, the psalmist writes about this dragon that has many heads. And they're there to do nothing more than to bring confusion. One head says one thing, another head says something else. Each head tries to speak with authority. In fact, families become this way. When everyone thinks that they're in charge, the result is always confusion and distrust. Isn't that true? That's exactly what it comes to do. Churches are afflicted by this multi-headed problem as well. It's very interesting. In fact, what's interesting about also this many-head demon is this, is that even though it has many heads, it also claims to always be right. Each head literally claims to be right. So what you find is as you're going and trying to do God's will, this demon will come alongside you, and what it'll begin to do is it will whisper, it will literally whisper in one ear, and the other head will whisper in the other, and brings confusion. And it makes you, it just kind of confuses you, whether or not is that God's voice I'm hearing, is it not? I'm a little confused, Pastor, I don't know what to do. But interesting enough, another trait of this, and what you'll find in this, is that each head literally thinks that it is right. In fact, what you'll find is that he'll come to you dressed in righteousness. In fact, he'll always come to you portraying as this sort of light, because he's there to confuse you. He's deceptive. He'll claim to be right, asserting to stand up for what's right, not really caring who's going to suffer. You're right. It doesn't matter what anybody else thinks, you're right. And it doesn't matter who's going to suffer. And that is a lie. That is what's coming from this demon. So think about it this way. In a family setting, when you have said, for me and my house, we're going to serve the Lord. For me, we're going to serve God. What happens is that one head will tell the man or the husband one thing. This head will tell the wife this thing. A different person in the household, he'll say this. And what you'll find is he'll begin to whisper in their ears, convincing them that their way of thinking is right. And that's how rumors even start. That's how gossip even starts. Even doctrinal error in churches, because he starts this dispute that takes place within the house and within the church and at work. That's all he's come to do, is to bring chaos in your life. In fact, he convinces believers that they are right and their leadership is wrong. Amen. Literally, that's what happens. Literally, it really causes believers to think that my way is the right way. What the leadership of the church is doing it's the wrong way. Because he comes dressed in white, pretending to do whatever he says to you is right. You have to be willing to discern. You have to be able to understand what is correctly God's voice, and which voice is it that the devil is trying, or the demon is coming to attack you. Now, this is heavily strong against the believers. How many believers do we have here today? Amen. This demon is out to really destroy your life. Have you ever wondered why that happens in your household, right? Things are just going well, and all of a sudden, things just go south. This is what this demon does. It has many heads. The second character trait I want to tell you is The Leviathan is piercing. It's piercing. In fact, Isaiah chapter 27 verse 1 says that he's called the piercing serpent. In fact, the word piercing in the Hebrew means roaming and shifting, focusing only on the temporary. In other words, Leviathan, or this demon, tries to get people to focus only on the temporary rather than the eternal. So what he'll do is he'll come and try to tempt you with the moment, that quick feeling of, it's going to feel good. Let's do it for this quick moment. This is what it's meant for us now, and not really consider the outcome of what it's going to take place in the long run. We can make this decision now, but not considering how it's going to affect people in the long run. It's a piercing serpent. It's a piercing demon that literally comes in as a shifting and roaming and letting you just focus in on just what is temporary. And how many of you know that this earth is temporary? Eternally is what? Heaven. And that's where our focus needs to be. He'll do everything in his power to confuse you, to be the distraction that leads you from focusing on heaven things and focusing in on earth things. Be cautious. Be very, very careful. Another characteristic or trait of this demon is this: that it literally presents itself to be bigger than he really is. How many of you ever felt that way, where you feel like your problems are bigger than you? That it is so big that prayer cannot even overcome it. How many of you ever felt that way before? This demon literally presents itself in that fashion and form. It makes itself to look bigger than what it really is. Now, have you ever heard testimonies of people who saw crocodiles? And what are their testimonies? Oh, that crocodile is 30 feet long. Big. That's what they present itself to be. And it looks big. But can I tell you, at an average, a normal crocodile alligator only grow to 12 to 15 feet. But when it is there, when you're seeing it, it presents itself so much bigger than what it really is. That demon will do that. That demon will present itself to you as a believer and cause the problem to look bigger than what it really is. And so you're so confused that you don't understand why God isn't answering, and you're so confused why God isn't doing the victory in your household, because he's presenting it to be bigger than God.